Imagine Mom standing in her kitchen window, birds chirping, looking at her roses, watching the birds in the feeder as the blueberry muffins are baking in the background. In that moment, a squirrel would jump from the tree into the feeder. Get out of here! My mom, the protector. Wife, sister, mother, aunt, grandmother, great-grandmother, cousin, and friend. A few years ago, I was giving a speech in Norwood. Dad was in the audience. I put up a picture of Mom and Dad holding hands, and I told the audience that they've been married 65 years. They applauded. My quiet dad yelled out, 67! They were married for 69 years. Over 70 years ago, they met working at Hillcrest Dairy, an office romance. Apparently, they didn't have HR back then. Her name was Rosalie. Dad called her Lee. A week ago, in the hair salon here at Notre Dame, a fellow female resident told Mom, "What a nice, kind man that Roger is." Mom reeled back, "He's mine." On behalf of Dad, thank you for changing your schedule, traveling, and making being here a priority. Mom would smile because you were here. We're here to honor my mother, Rosalie LaCroix, so together we can be reminded of the gift of her life. While sharing in the joy and pain together, we can help each other heal. Mom loved roses, pearls, and polkas. Whenever she drank wine, you know her cheeks got rosy. We asked her family to share her favorite mom moments. My Uncle Bob said that whenever he visited her at Notre Dame, he would tell her, wearing her pearls, she looked like Queen Elizabeth. She loved that, and she would always smile. When I think of growing up, I think of family. I think of Christmas Eve with the Draziks, 100 of us. Thanksgiving at Grandma's, and weekends at Grandpa's camp. Mom had amazing talents in gardening, painting, baking, cake decorating, and one talent you may not know of. You probably knew that my mom grew a mean tomato. We loved her BLTs, lettuce from the garden, and a single slice of tomato to cover the whole sandwich. And of course, her cherry tomatoes passed down from Grandpa. Mom had a green thumb and a couple of fingers. Gardening was important to her, and she took pride in her flowers. Gardening is tedious and hard work, takes patience and perseverance. Mom loved sharing the fruits of her labor with relatives, friends, and the whole neighborhood. Mom was best known for her homegrown blueberries, and as a child, her grandson Michael used to call them Boo Betties. She loved that. When Michael was in 7th grade, his biology class had a project. They had to grow their own tomato plants at home. And with Grammy's green thumb, his plants grew over 6 feet tall, reaching for the sunlight in his bedroom. In fact, they had to open the sunroof to get the plant to school. All the other kids there grew barely 6 inches tall. The teacher thought he cheated. Michael said, "No, it was just my grandmother's touch." Mom, the artist, she painted extraordinary nature scenes, sometimes painting Dad in the stream doing what he loved best, fishing. Mom's artwork is featured in an exhibit in the Worcester's Ecotarium. She was also commissioned to paint large murals in the walls of the Westboro and Worcester State Hospitals for the kids. When she painted, the young kids would come up and ask her questions, and she would love that. As they admired her work, they often asked her to add their favorite animals. She always found a way. Maybe you and I can find a way. She always painted nature scenes, but if you know my mom, she couldn't take a picture with a camera. The Reeds and the Brindizis, they know. Mom, closer, closer, smile. Closer, say cheese. She always forgot to advance the camera. When my friends found out Mom passed, their memories were of fresh tomatoes, maple walnut cake, and homemade lemonade. Our cousin Chris said her fondest memory was Mom teaching her to make a heart out of frosting. And to this day, every time she makes a heart, she thinks of Mom. Mom loved making homemade whoopie pies for her grandson. Her favorite part was when she made them say whoopee before they would get one, which was adorable when they were little. In their late teens, not so much. She never read the room, but it always cracked her up anyway. Many Sunday mornings, my sister and Mom would load up the old green station wagon and deliver wedding cake creations to special events. God was with them because they never dropped a cake. Mom was the epitome of a stubborn Polak. Her determination drove her. Mom built a home-based business in the 70s, long before that was a thing. She did it so she could stay at home, raise us, and use her talents. Many nights we couldn't watch Happy Days or Brady Bunch because Mom was having customers over to watch her cake slideshows. I thought every kid had to put up with that. I think I benefited the most from her stubbornness. When I was born with a club foot, many doctors wanted to wait till I was a teen, but Mom relentlessly found Dr. Karen to operate on me as a child so I could run, walk, and jump with the other kids. Thank you, Mom. What if you and I were a little more stubborn for something good? Mom taught us lessons we did not appreciate at the time, but later we'd realize the wisdom, like the importance of bringing food to a friend in pain, bringing brownies to the police department and fire department and a neighbor in time of need. Her love language was baking, and she always created warm, unforgettable, delicious thank you moments. How can we, with the skills we were given? Mom had a passion for polka. In fact, on Labor Day when visiting, though she was 90 years old and suffering from Alzheimer's, she still remembered the words to Beer Barrel Polka and Who Stole My Kishka. If you laughed at that, you know the song. And if you didn't, you'll have to Google it. Mom tried new things. At Kathy's wedding, my cousin Kim watched her as she took her first sip of apple pie moonshine out of a mason jar that was passed around the table. She took a few more sips. Eventually, they had to take it away from her. Mom was competitive with her grandson Matthew, especially games and fishing. Neither of them liked to lose. You can check out some of the pictures when we go to lunch. On the racetrack, racing her grandchildren and fishing. What you might not know about my mom, years of squeezing icing onto cakes built her incredible hand strength. Their friend Bob Pierce was training to be an Olympic sharpshooter, invited Mom and Dad over. He had a target in his basement with a single candle inside. Mom went down to see what they were up to. They said their goal was to put the flame out and not touch the candle. Mom took the gun, lined it up, and put it out in one single shot. She said, "What's so hard about that?" Dad went hunting once in New Hampshire with his friend Sam, and Mom went along. Sam told Dad to bring his shotgun, and they went out into the woods, but didn't want Mom to be left alone without any protection, so Dad left his .22 with a magazine of 10 bullets. They went off into the woods and later came back empty-handed. Mom said, "Watch your step." She had a little fun. She had 5 chipmunks laid out. And she was looking for the 6th. She still had 4 bullets left. Yep, Mom was a real-life Granny Oakley. Sorry, you got to think on some of these. My friend told me a person's life is like a pie. Everyone owns a piece of it, and it's a privilege to share that piece. This is the only time when all the pieces will come together. Please share your moments, your pieces of the pie with each other. She'd love it. The baker, the cake decorator, the artist, the gardener, and her favorite role, Grammy. Just like Mom, she wrote her own obituary. She said, "I loved enjoying watching my children and grandchildren grow up and follow their own paths to success. My family truly meant the world to me." Right now, she's dancing the polka with her dad. Life ends, but not a relationship. Mom touched her canvas with unique strokes, just the way she touched each of us in a unique way on the canvas of our lives. It's been said that grief is the price of love. Mom, thanks for loving us. Thanks for your smiling eyes, your spirited laugh, and genuine warmth. We're glad you have no more pain. Rest in peace. I know God's already has you baking blueberry muffins for his angels. Bye, Mom. Whenever you see a beautiful scene in nature, take an extra moment. If it seems a little more vibrant, it might just be that God gave Mom his paintbrush. I picture Mom wearing her sweater, her earrings, and her pearls as she approaches the pearly gates. I can see her stop and take in the beauty. I think she would sit down and set up her canvas and start to paint. As St. Peter would walk up to her and invite her in, she'd say, "Oh, hello. Would you and Jesus like some brownies?" As she walks through the gates, no more pain. She'd be in awe of the rainbows and roses that were waiting just for her. Jesus, thank you for welcoming Mom. Enjoy the blueberry muffins. Mom, we'll take care of Dad. You don't have to worry anymore. No one can steal your Kishka.